Hi, ChatGPT. I would like to play a game in which I ask you about each of the European Union flags, and you have to rank them from S is the max score, then A, B, C, and D is the lowest score. Try to use all the scores and let's try. Are you ready?
Absolutely. That sounds like a fun little game. I'm totally ready to dive into the EU flags and give them some rankings. So let's do it.
Okay, let's start with the Austria flag. Where, which score you will give to this flag?
All right. Let's kick it off with Austria. So I think I'd give the Austrian flag a solid A. It's got that nice simplicity. The red, white, red is really recognizable, and it's got a lot of history to it. So I wouldn't quite put it at the very top tier, but I think an A is a really good spot for it.
Very nice. Okay, so a nice score for Austria. What about Belgium?
Yeah, absolutely. So for Belgium, you've got that black, yellow, and red vertical tricolor. It's got a nice bold look to it, but maybe it's a little less instantly recognizable than some of the others. So I think I'd give Belgium a B. It's a solid flag, but maybe not quite as distinctive as some of the ones that would hit that A or S tier.
Okay, okay. B. So we have 1A, 1B. Now let's move a little more in the east of Europe. So Bulgaria.
All right, hang over to Bulgaria. So Bulgaria's flag is that white, green, and red horizontal tricolor. It's a nice combo, but it's maybe a little more understated compared to some of the others. So I think I would give Bulgaria a C. It's a good flag, but it's just maybe not quite as striking or as iconic as some of the others in the lineup.
Okay, okay. Very nice. So yeah, you are using different scores. Very nice. And what about Croatia?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's keep it rolling. So Croatia's flag is pretty distinctive because it's got those red, white, and blue stripes, but it's got that coat of arms in the middle, which really makes it stand out. So I think I'd give Croatia an A as well. It's definitely got some character to it, and it's got a little bit more going on than just the simple stripes. So I think it earns that A spot.
Okay, okay. So now we have Austria and Croatia with A, that is the highest score at the moment, and then Belgium with B and Bulgaria with C. Let's continue in alphabetic order, and now we have Cyprus.
Yeah, let's do it. So Cyprus is a pretty unique one in the EU lineup because you've got that white field with the copper orange silhouette of the island and the little olive branches underneath. It's definitely one of the more unique flags in the EU, and for that uniqueness, I think I'd actually give it an A as well. It's not the most traditional tricolor, but it really stands out. I think it deserves that top tier.
Is the island in the flag this shape of Cyprus Island?
Yep, you got it exactly. The shape on the flag is actually the silhouette of the island of Cyprus itself. So it's literally a map of the island right on the flag, which is a pretty cool and unique feature.
Instead, what the symbol in the Croatian flag stand for? So people can learn about the European flags.
Absolutely. So on the Croatian flag, you've got that central symbol, which is the Croatian coat of arms. It's that red and white checkerboard shield right in the middle. And that checkerboard pattern is really a historical symbol of Croatia and Croatian identity. So it's kind of a nod to their heritage. And it makes their flag really stand out and kind of tells a little story about the country.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Okay, now let's move a little more in the north of Europe. Denmark.
Yeah, absolutely. So Denmark's flag, which is called the Dannebrog, is actually one of the oldest flags in the world, or at least one of the oldest national flags still in use. It's got that red background with the white Scandinavian cross, and it's super iconic, super simple, but really well loved. So I think I'd actually give Denmark our first S.
Oh
It's just one of
my,
those top tier classics.
wow, very nice. So top score for Denmark, are you sure?
Absolutely. I'm sticking with it. I think Denmark deserves that top score. It's just such a timeless and iconic flag. So, yeah, they get the S from me.
Okay, what about Estonia?
Yeah, let's do Estonia. So, Estonia's flag is that blue, black, and white horizontal tricolor, and it's got a really cool, kind of sleek look to it. It's a little bit different from a lot of the other flags in the EU, and I think for that uniqueness and that kind of cool color combo, I'd give Estonia an A as well. It's a really nice flag, and it stands out in a cool way.
Okay, okay, very nice, very nice. Staying in the neighborhood now, Finland.
Yeah, absolutely. So for Finland, you've got that right flag with the blue Nordic cross. It's got this really crisp, clean, almost kind of minimalist look, and it's super recognizable and just has that nice Scandinavian vibe. So I think I'd give Finland an A as well. It's definitely up there with some of the other top ones, and it's got that nice, cool, calm look to it.
Okay, okay, very nice. So the A score is getting crowded, but yeah, we have a big variety. Now a very famous flag, France.
Yeah, for sure. The French flag is definitely one of the most famous ones out there. You've got that blue, white, and red vertical tricolor. It's super iconic and honestly a design that's inspired a lot of other flags around the world. So I think I've got to give France an S as well. It's just one of those top tier, super recognizable flags that really deserves that top score.
Okay, so Denmark and France at the moment are the at the top of this ranking. What about a neighbor of France, Germany?
Yeah, so Germany is definitely another strong contender. You've got those black, red, and gold horizontal stripes. It's a super bold and recognizable flag and has a lot of history behind it. I think I'd give Germany an A. It's definitely up there in terms of being iconic, but we'll let Denmark and France hold on to that S tier for now.
Very nice. And what about Greece?
Yeah, let's talk about Greece. So, Greece has that really distinctive flag with the blue and white stripes and the cross in the upper left corner. It's got that very Greek Mediterranean vibe, and it's super recognizable. I think I'd give Greece an A as well. It's definitely up there as one of the more iconic flags, and it's got a really cool look to it.
Very nice. So let's stay in the world of horizontal lines in the flags. Now Hungary.
Yeah, absolutely. So Hungary is another one of those horizontal tricolor flags. You've got the red, white, and green stripes. It's a nice, clean design. It's definitely got a classic feel to it. I think I'd give Hungary a B. It's a solid flag, but maybe not quite as unique or iconic as some of the ones that we put in the A or S tier.
Okay, so at the same level with Belgium. Okay. And now the next is the Irish flag.
Yeah, so Ireland's flag, it's another one of those really well known
No,
ones. You've got
Ireland.
All right, Ireland it is. So the Irish flag, you've got that green, white, and orange vertical tricolor. It's a really beloved flag, super recognizable, and it's got a lot of meaning behind it. I think I'd give Ireland an A as well. It's definitely up there with some of the other top ones. It's got a nice, simple, but meaningful design, and it's pretty iconic.
Okay, very nice, very nice. And what about Italian flag?
Yeah, so the Italian flag, that green, white, and red vertical tricolor, it's another one of those super iconic and really classic flags. I think I'd also give Italy an A. It's just a really well known design. It's got a lot of history and it stands out in a really nice way. So Italy gets an A as well.
And what is the history behind this flag when it was created?
Yeah, so the Italian flag actually dates back to the late 18th century. It was inspired by the French tricolor during the Napoleonic era when Napoleon's armies were in Italy. And over time, it became a symbol of Italian nationalism and unity. It was officially adopted as the national flag in the mid 19th century when Italy unified. So it's got a lot of history behind it, and that's kind of where it comes from.
Okay, very nice. And now in the Baltic area, Latvia. Tell me which score you would like to give to this flag.
Yeah, absolutely. So Latvia's flag has that really nice deep red color with the white stripe in the middle. It's a pretty unique and striking design because that shade of red is really distinctive. I think I'd give Latvia a B. It's a solid, good looking flag, but maybe not as instantly iconic as some of the ones we put in the A or S tier, but definitely a nice one.
And what about Lithuania?
Yeah, so Lithuania's flag is that horizontal tricolor with yellow, green, and red. It's got a really warm and kind of vibrant look to it, and it's definitely unique among the EU flags. I think I'd give Lithuania a B as well. It's a nice flag, stands out a little bit, but maybe not quite as instantly iconic as some of those A or S tier ones.
And now we did all the three Baltic countries, so Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. What are the relationship of these three flags? They are connected, they are inspiring of each other, or not?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the Baltic flags, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, don't necessarily come from the exact same inspiration, but they do have some regional symbolism that ties them together. Each of them chose colors that represent their own national identity and cultural history. So Estonia has that blue, black, and white that has particular meaning for them. Latvia has that deep red, and Lithuania has that yellow, green, and red that reflect their own national symbols. So they're not directly inspired by each other, but they do kind of form a nice little regional trio that each has its own character.
Okay, okay, very nice. And now in the central part of Europe, Luxembourg.
Yeah, let's jump to Luxembourg. So, Luxembourg's flag is that horizontal tricolor with red, white, and light blue. It actually looks a little bit like the Dutch flag, just with a lighter shade of blue. It's a nice flag, but maybe not the most unique in the lineup, so I think I'd give Luxembourg a B. It's a solid flag, but just not quite as distinctive as some of the ones we got in the ARS tier.
Okay, now you mentioned the Dutch flag, so let's give a score of the Dutch flag and tell us also the relationship, why they look so similar. There is an historical reason respect to Luxembourg.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Dutch flag is that red, white, and blue horizontal tricolor, and it's a really classic and historic design. I'd actually give the Dutch flag an A. It's definitely one of the more iconic European flags and has inspired other designs around the world. Now, as for the relationship with Luxembourg, there's not a direct historical reason that they're so similar, but it's more of a coincidence and a kind of a shared regional palette. Luxembourg chose its colors for its own reasons, and it just ended up being a lighter blue than the Dutch flag, but there's no direct link between them. They just happen to look quite alike.
Okay, very nice. Now going in the Mediterranean Sea, Malta. And what is the cross in the Malta flag?
Yeah, let's head over to Malta. So the Maltese flag is pretty interesting. It's got those two vertical bands of white and red, and then up in the top left corner, there's this little cross, which is actually the George Cross, and that was awarded to Malta by Britain during World War II for their bravery. So it's got a lot of historical significance. I'd give the Maltese flag a B. It's a nice, simple design with that unique little historical detail, so it's definitely got its own character.
Okay, very nice. And with a same palette of colors, now Poland.
Yeah, so Poland's flag is that really simple and clean design with just the white on top and the red on the bottom. It's got that nice straightforward look. It's really recognizable. And I'd give Poland an A as well. It's definitely one of those iconic European flags. Even though it's simple, sometimes simple is really elegant. So, yeah, Poland gets an A in my book.
Okay, very nice. Now, one in the most western of Europe, Portugal.
Yeah, so Portugal's flag is definitely a unique one in the EU lineup. You've got that green on the left side, and then the larger red field on the right. And then you've got that complex coat of arms and the Imolari sphere in the middle. It's got a lot of character and it's really distinctive. So I think I'd give Portugal an A as well. It's one of those flags that definitely stands out from the crowd.
And what about the Spain flag? Give me the score, and also are the symbol of Portugal and Spain somehow related in the history or completely different?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Spanish flag, you've got those red and yellow horizontal stripes with that coat of arms over on the left. It's a super recognizable flag, and I'd give Spain an A as well. It's definitely up there as one of the more iconic European flags. Now, in terms of the symbols, Portugal and Spain do have some historical connections, of course, because they share the Iberian Peninsula, but their coats of arms are actually pretty different. Spain's coat of arms has a lot of elements from the different kingdoms that came together to form Spain, and Portugal's has its own unique elements. So they're not really directly related, but they both have that kind of Iberian flair to them.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, I like both of these flags. Okay, now five flags left, so let's go to the east of Europe with Romania.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Romanian flag is that blue, yellow, and red vertical tricolor. It's kind of similar to the flag of Chad, but in the EU context, it's definitely recognizable on its own. I give Romania a B. It's a solid flag, nice colors, but maybe not quite as distinctive as some of the A or S tier ones we talked about.
Okay, what about Slovakia?
Yeah, so Slovakia's flag is another tricolor, but it's got that little extra flair with the coat of arms on the left side. So you've got the white, blue, and red stripes, and then you've got that double cross emblem that makes it stand out. I think I'd give Slovakia a B as well. It's a nice flag, and that little coat of arms definitely gives it some personality.
And what about Slovenia? They look similar, so tell us also the historical difference and why they look somehow similar.
Yeah, definitely. So Slovenia's flag is also a white, blue, and red tricolor, and it also has a coat of arms on the top left. But the coat of arms is different. It's got that little image of Mount Triglav and some stars. Now, the reason they look similar is because they both come from that Shan Slavic tradition of using the white, blue, and red colors, which you'll see in a lot of Slavic countries. But they each added their own coat of arms to make it unique. I give Slovenia a B as well. It's a nice flag, but it's in that similar category as Slovakia where it's recognizable, but not quite as iconic as some of the top tier ones.
Okay, and what about Sweden?
Yeah, so Sweden's flag is definitely one of those super iconic ones. You've got that blue field with the yellow Scandinavian cross. It's simple, it's bold, and it's really recognizable. And I think I've got to give Sweden an S. It's definitely one of those
Oh,
top tier flags that everybody knows. So Sweden gets the top score.
okay, now the last one, Czech Republic.
Yeah, let's wrap it up with the Czech Republic. So the Czech flag has that white and red with the blue triangle on the left side. It's got a nice distinctive look because of that triangle. It's pretty unique among European flags, and I think I'd give the Czech Republic a B. It's a good flag, definitely recognizable, and it kind of rounds out the whole lineup pretty nicely.
Okay, very nice. Okay, so we did all the flags. Now, two more questions before the end of this game. So, first, let's see how good is your memory. So, now let me, for each category, which flag you put, starting from S. Let's see if you remember.
All right, let's test my memory here. So for the S tier, I put Denmark and France and also Sweden right at the end. So those were the three that got the top tier.
Very good.
And then, if I remember right, for the A tier, we had quite a few. I know we put Austria and Croatia in there. We also had Ireland, Italy, Estonia, Finland, Greece, and the Netherlands. And I think Spain and Portugal as well. So there were quite a few in that A tier. It's a nice crowded category.
Okay, I think you forgot Cyprus, Germany, a couple of them, but that's okay. What about B?
Yeah, that's fair. Cyprus and Germany were in that A tier as well, so there were quite a few. Now, for the B tier, we had countries like Belgium and Hungary, Latvia, Lithuania, and I saw Luxembourg, Slovakia, and Slovenia. So those were all kind of in that middle range. And then I think for the C tier, we just had Bulgaria. So that was the ones that was a little bit lower.
And what about the D tier?
Yeah, so if I remember right, we didn't actually end up giving any flag a D tier score. Everything kind of stayed in the C tier or above. So all in all, pretty positive lineup for all the EU flags.
Okay, very good. So now, last question. In the S tier, you have Denmark, France, and Sweden. But you can pick only one winner of this game. Which one of these flags is your favorite?
Oh, you're making me choose just one champion out of the top three, huh? Well, if I have to pick one ultimate winner, I think I'll go with Denmark, just because it's so classic. It's one of the oldest national flags, and it kind of has that timeless, simple look that a lot of other flags were inspired by. So Denmark takes the crown.
Very nice. So Denmark is the official winner of today. Thank you so much, ChatGPT, for your time. So see you next time for another game.
Absolutely. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to crown a winner and go through all those flags. So Anytime you want to play another game or just chat, I'm here.
Sure. See you soon.